And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semi-finals of the WardiTV Monday number 29. It's been an intense tournament so far. The lower semi-finals have concluded, and we just got an update. Hero takes down MaxPax 2-0, and Hero is waiting for the winner of this series in the grand finals. And who exactly will join him? We're here to find out. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Sandworm, we have the red Protoss player of the red Protoss from the land of Germany. It is ShoWTimE. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Zerg player with the blue Zerg himself representing Team Falcons. It is a Solar. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is a Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get our Gamba going. Here we go. So far we do have our standard opener out of Solo, likewise ShoWTimE setting up back at home. But welcome one and all to Sandworm. Sandworm is another TLMC20 map. It is in not just the map pool for the WardiTV Mondays, but also for our map pool as well. Also a very trendy map and has some unique features. First thing is first, we have our Dragon's Teeth in the center of the map. This is similar to the Pachinko machine on Neon Violet Square. It is similar, but this is a little bit more extreme. What I mean by that here is that only small units can fit through this. I'm talking workers, marines, lings, zealots, adepts can fit through. Stalkers are too thick. Stalkers cannot, neither can immortals, tanks, archons. There are units that can, there are other units that cannot fit through these small gaps in between the cones, in between the dragon's teeth, if you will, in between the spikes. Likewise, we have more spikes towards the left and right hand side as well. So that does disrupt movement. That also makes it more difficult to engage into the gold. The gold bases are in the center of the map as well. The gold bases are, I would say, they were initially, they were perceived to be more exposed, but I'll be honest, because of the rocks, because of the terrain, and because of these spikes in the center, I would say that these gold bases have been quite defendable. We've seen a lot of players rush into and successfully defend the gold base on this map. So despite the attempted deterrence here on the gold is still very much so viable here to rush into as a third or fourth. So we'll see if either player does try to go for that. For now, we have our openers. It is going to be a Stargate opener out of ShoWTimE. Likewise, Solar just going hatch gas pull into a third base, droning up, spreading his creep, and force take the unnatural natural. So a bit of a more awkward setup here from Solar, but nothing too crazy. Should be able to keep up. Should be able to. Now our players are settling in. Adepts do initially move out to harass across the map, and it's going to be up to Solar to keep up. So far the Queen is in position. We have a couple of links here behind this as well, keeping up with the Adepts. Just to force this back, making the way into the mineral line, shading back. So far a Soul defense here from Solar. He does defend, he does hold on, and ShoWTimE is forced back, at least initially. Now, when it comes to ShoWTimE's PvZ, we don't really get to cast much ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE, he doesn't really play in many online tournaments. What I mean by that is that unlike MaxPax and Clem, and Geralt and Nikrat and Jumi and some of these other D-gens, ShoWTimE, he doesn't ruin his sleep schedule. He does not stay up for the America's Open Cups. Doesn't stay up for the America's Open Cups. He doesn't play in the Korean Cups either. I'm referring to the KSL, the Korean StarCraft League. Doesn't play in that tournament. ShoWTimE, he rises with the sun. He sets with the sun as well. He's a sane human being. Because of that, we don't really get to see him too often here. And again, he's also a rarer sight in the WardiTV tournaments as well. The Monday Night Weeklies are typically where ShoWTimE thrives. So I'm happy to see ShoWTimE here. Happy, I'm excited. He is more of a standard player. He is more known for his mid-game and macro game in PvZ. He often doesn't go for early timings or early aggression. He's more of a defensive player more than anything. As Solar does open up with a safety Roach Warren. Interesting. Does go for the Roach Warren before the lair. Stays trap into the main. And oh, no reaction. Yeah, late reaction from Solar. With that, he gets caught out. That's gonna be what, 6 drones getting caught, 6 drones and a queen. Ay, ay, ay. You know, double Oracle in between the bases. The Queen is stasis. We can go for the drone kills. Alas, just joining up with the other Oracle, setting up for another stasis. Do we line this up? Oh, is it lined up? It kind of is. Not quite. Yeah, barely not. Whew, Solar, he pulls away in time. Like ShoWTimE, he pulls back. Pulls back, he pulls away. He gets 3 drone kills so far. Okay damage, nothing major outside of the stasis, of course. Solar, he attempts a run by, but there are plenty of adepts back at home. This third base is safe and sound. Solar cannot touch the third. Solar, once again, late reaction, 4 drones caught out. Ay, ay, ay. ShoWTimE doing well with these oracles, doing very well. As Solar's economy is hindered. Likewise, Solar now getting to his own Eva chamber, his own lair. Do we embrace Roach production? We do. Roach speed is on the way, most likely +1 range as well, into Hydra. So Roach, Hydra out of Solar. Oracles, they rotate in once again. They get another 2 drones. Did I say 2? They get a 3rd drone as well. Again, very nice damage here from ShoWTimE. And behind this, building up into a standard follow-up into +1 and Blink. So standard follow-up here out of ShoWTimE. Again, in general, the build of ShoWTimE has been very stock standard, but he's just been getting quite a lot done with it. It's impressive. Very impressive. Oh no! Oh my god, almost comes back too soon. 1 worker gets stasis, another stasis here towards the natural. Once again, Solar should be keeping up. Thick Stalkers. Yes, the Stalkers, they're too thick. They're too thick. Oh, see, look. Oh god, they can't fit. Oh, they're getting trapped even. Oh god. Stalkers are getting choked up here on the spikes. On the Dragon's Teeth. It's okay, they'll make it out. There we go. As ShoWTimE is pushing in towards that center goal base. So far, trading well. Again, the economy has been hindered here for Solar. Solar, he attempts to run by, but the stasis does choke him up. Ooh, crazy blink out of ShoWTimE. Does blink forward. Will bleed out of Stalker as a result. And bleeds out of Stalker, pulls away. ShoWTimE has to calm down. We're fat shaming units now. No. We like the thick Stalkers. It's fine. Hi. Oh no. Sometimes units aren't thinking up. I'm looking at you, Queens. And sometimes failing to wall off and just to wall off the entrances of the natural. It's happened before. Cat dead. ShoWTimE does move in. Oh. But likewise, Solar, he does barely hold on to that goal base. He does defend. He forces ShoWTimE back. Meanwhile, Solar, he's hoping to try to force a cancel, but alas, yes, Solar, he is deflected. He is denied. ShoWTimE defends his 4th, but Solar, he successfully takes the gold. As I mentioned before, we've seen a lot of players successfully take the goal base and defend. There was a lot of pressure, don't get me wrong, but ShoWTimE, he fails to break the gold. He fails to break the goal base. So Solar, now he has a boosted economy. He's with 82 workers, goal base as well, now taking up into Hydra Lurker or into Lurker Tech. Meanwhile, ShoWTimE, what's he going for? Sky Toss, Fleet Beacon. We have the carriers with the Stargate on the way. Into Sky Toss. It's coming. So we're getting ready and gearing up for a longer game state. ShoWTimE pulling away. Leaves out 1 Stalker. Leaves out a Stalker. Storm is done. ShoWTimE keeping up with the rotations. Side defense is on the way. Cannon, shield battery, stasis traps. Again, pushing up these ramps is not going to be easy. So we do land some brutal storms. And the Tempest production has begun. I appreciate that it's Tempest and not Carrier. Tempests are just more efficient. Of course, their attack rate is much lower, but it's what you want against these lurkers. So another storm connects. Oh. And another on the Hydras. And you can see Solar slowly pushing up that ramp, but he is heavily delayed. Trying to make his way through. As time goes on, the Tempests are building up, and the first Tempest has arrived. And the first Tempest is out. Taking down a Hydra. Ooh, Storm is available. Massive Storm on the Hydras as well. And here comes the surround. Here comes a collapse on the Lurkers. Massive. Oh my god, the Storms are brutal. And ShoWTimE, he breaks the army. He breaks the main army. Takes down all the Lurkers. Crushes through most of those Hydras. And Solar, he bleeds out so much there. Looking at the trades, that was 9 Lurkers going down. 9 Lurkers, 11 Hydras. For what? For mainly Zealots. And 1 Oracle. So a very efficient fight there from ShoWTimE. Just being so patient and getting ready for that surround. Solar, now he's hurting. He's hurting, he has to back off. Behind this Solar, he's taking up into Corruptors. The Spire is done. Spire is done, so is the Hive. Building up his Corruptor counts. But these are going to be 0-0 Corruptors. Solar needs a little bit more time, and now ShoWTimE is pushing towards the gold. Oh, catching out the Queens. Flash Transfuse. As the armies face off, Solar going for a massive counterattack. Hoping to force. Oh god, the Storms are brutal! He's hoping to force a reaction here out of ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE back at home, he does have a defensive warp in. Does warp in. And he reacts. Yeah, he pulls back home. I mean, again, this is a bit of a more dedicated run by with Roaches and Hydras. So the entire army turns around. The Hydras, the High Templar! High Templar getting called out. He gets 1. He gets 1, he gets 2, he gets 3. 3 High Templar get picked up. Very nice pickups here by Solar. Distracting ShoWTimE. That was well worth it for Solar. Catching 3 High Templar. He didn't get into the natural, but he created an opening. He created an opportunity. Did break through. Behind this, Solar taking another expansion. And now +1 is done. +1 is finishing up. His Corruptors are that much more effective. ShoWTimE splitting up, trying to hold on to that 5th. Yeah, he's got plenty of Archons, he should be fine. Oh. Likewise, Lurker gets caught out. And both armies are maxed. Now, Solar, ideally, he does want to mix in some spellcasters. I'm referring to Vipers or Infestors. They both have their place. Right now, he's purely Lurker Corruptor. So there's not too much finesse to this army here from Solar. Despite that, he might be able to sneak up. As ShoWTimE, he does miss the rotation. Yeah, the army gets on top of the ramp. That should not have happened. Corruptors are moving in. They want the Tempest. And they get 1. Yeah, 1 Tempest goes down, he gets 1, he gets 2. Nice dive here from Solar. He's going to reset the Tempest count. Again, ShoWTimE, he was out of position. And 1 wrong move, and that can be game. That can be it. Takes down all the Tempests. Corruptors moving in. Lurkers, they do zone the army away, going for the 4th base. Going for the main as well. Yeah, ShoWTimE just getting pulled apart. The mothership is denied. Main base goes down. Nice pickoff. And ShoWTimE, on the one hand, yes, he's maxed out. That is true. He's maxed out. But what army is he working with? He has purely a ground-based army. Pure Immortal Archon Storm. No more Tempest, no more Skytoss. Solar, how many Lurkers does he have? 14. Oh, sorry, 11. Soon to be 17. 17 Lurkers. And against a purely ground-based army, what's the best composition you can go for a Zerg? Specifically, Lurker, Broodlord, and the Greater Spire is on the way. So he needs to preserve these Corruptors and get into those Broodlords, as he's almost at that Broodlord tech. ShoWTimE trying to counterattack, but alas, yeah, Solar, he's back at home. He defends. Deflects those Stalkers. And Solar, he's building up towards the superior army. He's not there yet, but he's getting there. As a couple of Archons go down. Sorry, a couple of Corruptors go down, I meant to say, to the Archons. As the Corruptors actually do survive. Not bad. Again, we have to preserve those Corruptors to build up those Broodlords. As ShoWTimE is gaining ground towards the top side. Breaks through those Hydras. Nice Storm as well. Very nice Storm. Lurkers have to respond to this. Alas, there is detection. Storms floating up in the middle. Oh my god, the Storms! Yeah, Storms are brutal. Lurkers go down. And ShoWTimE is breaking this expansion. A couple links they come in to reinforce. Solo, he responds with his main army, or at least he tries to. And coming in with those lings. It does force a recall. Not bad. Takes down a couple of Immortals as well. Expensive trade there for ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE is trying to find a way in. So far unable to. Oh god, no! Throws away High Templar. ShoWTimE does overextend. Solo trying to catch him out. Trying to catch him out, but Solar, he is looking to find his way up that ramp once again. It's happened before. Yeah, he gets up the ramp. Decent position here for Solar. Oh, meanwhile, ShoWTimE setting up a flank. And so he backs off. Yeah, deja vu. This time, Solar, he doesn't stick around. He backs the hell off, doesn't get surrounded. That would have been maybe best case scenario for ShoWTimE to surround the army. Speaking of surrounds, ShoWTimE getting caught out. Picks off the High Templar. ShoWTimE is on his own. He's getting caught. Immortal's gonna be falling. Mothership as well. ShoWTimE, he does push with the second army instead. Broodlords are morphing in. And Solar, he's all over this. He's all over this. Cleans up that Mothership. Back at home, Broodlords, they morph in just in time. And what's this army gonna do against Broodlords? Nothing. As Broodlords, they overwhelm. They defend back at home. And across the map, ShoWTimE will lose this army. Yeah, the Mothership, the Archons, the Immortals, brutal losses here for ShoWTimE. He will get the expansion, but it's not as worth it here. As these are expensive losses for ShoWTimE. And Solar, he just keeps moving in. Just keeps pushing in, keeps pushing forward. Takes down another expansion. ShoWTimE evacuates towards the gold. Now, Broodlords are slow, so ShoWTimE might be able to recall and save some of these units. Like my Stalkers, they're rotating to reinforce. But ShoWTimE will lose his fourth base, now losing his third. ShoWTimE trying to catch out those Broodlords, and he will. That's what he gets to. He gets three. Three Broodlords go down, getting all four. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He gets every single Broodlord. But ShoWTimE, he's hurting back at home. The Lurkers, the Lunkers, they just keep going. He's getting two now. He's going for the gold, getting every single expansion. ShoWTimE, he's all in. He's all in with this army. Solar, can he defend back at home? That's a lot of observers. Plenty of detection. He races back with a couple of those Lurkers. More Lurkers getting caught out. Nice catch. 3, 4 Lurkers getting caught. Oh my god, the Hydras, they wander in. Yeah, the move command. Miss rally here from Solar. ShoWTimE trading well. It's just full base rate. It's just full base rate at this point. And against Solar, he can't afford those mistakes. Not in the base trade like this. Meanwhile, Natural's going to be going down. ShoWTimE pushing into the main. So ShoWTimE, he's got plenty of storms. Oh god, no! He gets within range, losing every single High Templar. That was what, 8 High Templar? That was very wasteful here from ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE, he breaks through the Lurkers. A very scrappy fight. Very scrappy. Corruptor survive. Was it 8? How many was it? 16! 16 High Templar. Jesus. That's insane. I mean, that's throughout the course of this base trade so far. But still, that's a lot of High Templar going down. Here's Solo dipping in between the bases. He still has a decent lurker count. Yeah, Solo still has the advantage. And ShoWTimE, he just spent too much trying to break that lurker line earlier. And at this point, ShoWTimE is down to 2 bases. Barely has an economy. Lurkers are moving in. Decent immortal count. Zealot's do tank some shots. Nice around with the stalkers. Okay. Cleans up every single lurker. Nice catch. Very nice catch. Shuts down the lurkers. Oh, high tempo. He wants it. Doesn't get it. Nice bait there from ShoWTimE. And now suddenly Solo, he has no army. He has no army. Again, the lurkers with that surround, that was brutal. He lost everything. Corruptor's all he really has left. We'll take down the expansion. And this is the army. 9 Corruptors and 11 Lings. There's 6 more lurkers on the way. But Solo, he has lost that army advantage. Solo does have the economy. He's on 3 bases. He's on 3 expansions. 2.5. Really 2. Just a 2-base economy. Meanwhile, ShoWTimE, he's on half a base. ShoWTimE long distance mining. Moving in between the bases. Lurker's not quite in position. Gets 1. Yo, we got the random Phoenix. Let's go. Gets 1, gets 2 lurkers, down to 4. Yeah, 4 lurkers left in ShoWTimE. He's done it. ShoWTimE has done it. He's getting on top of those final lurkers. Transfuse not good enough. Brutal Storm. Again, 3 lurkers left, down to 2. 2 lurkers remaining, down to 1. Down to 0. Yeah, 0 lurkers. ShoWTimE, he does it. He breaks Solar. And Solar, he's reinforcing with a couple of Hydras. He's fueled by Copium at this point. He's racing back with the Corruptors. He can kill the Phoenix, I suppose, and the Oracle. True. I mean, hey, there's 6 more Hydras. The Hydra count is slowly building up. Does lunge in. The boys are being pulled. Another charge lots. Yeah, the Zealot will seal the deal. GG gets called, and ShoWTimE, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. ShoWTimE, he will take a lead in the series. Again, a very intense back and forth. There were some strong moments for both players, strong moments for ShoWTimE, strong moments for Solar. Initially, when it came to the beginning of the base trade, I was favoring Solar. He was sniping base after base after base. But if you remember, Solar, he was also, it looked like he was panicking a little bit back at home. He was rallying lurkers into the army, rallying Hydras into the main army as well. He was bleeding out a lot of units. I guess it happened for both players. If you remember, ShoWTimE also rallied High Templar into lurkers and lost all of those as well. So both players were taking some losses here and there, but in the end, ShoWTimE did overcome. He did overcome. He did persevere. Whew, GG. GG. Very intense game, and in the end, ShoWTimE barely comes out on top. And with that, ShoWTimE is 1 game away from making it to the grand finals. As a reminder, Hero is waiting for the winner of the series. He's waiting for either ShoWTimE or Solar. Let's go. Oh, let us go. As game 2 is going to be on Frostline. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Frostline, we have our German Protoss player, the Red Protoss, leading the series 1-0. 1 game away from making it to the grand finals. It is ShoWTimE. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Team Falcons. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back and make a series out of this and force the ace match. It is Solar. Here we go. And again, I'm sure a part of what made the last game intense and chaotic was also just how small the map was as well. Sandworm, I mean. Coming into Frostline, the map is larger, much larger map of the map pool. Just because the map is larger doesn't necessarily mean it's prone to longer or later games. We did see Solo go for just pure all-ins time and time again against Skillus and against his previous Protoss opponents, and I expect to see that here on Frostline as well. Now, the reason why I expect to see it is because, on the one hand, yes, it is a larger map, that is true, But on the other hand, these bases, the triangular third base and the linear third base, are much more open, they're much more exposed, they're isolated from each other, they're very spread out. It is very difficult to defend on 4 bases on Frostline. We have seen many a Protoss player attempt and fail to defend on this map, but it's ShoWTimE, right? He's the Mao, he's known for his defense, he's known for walling up and, you know, being that defensive player. So we'll see if he can bring that together here coming into Frostline. We shall see. Assuming the solo goes for the all-in, we'll piece it all together. We'll get there. So now we are just going to be droning, going to be saturating, taking our queens, no crazy fast third base. Likewise, Stargate opener out of ShoWTimE. Going Stargates into most likely Oracle. We saw how successful ShoWTimE was with his Oracle control last game with his stasis traps. It was very, I mean, he got so much damage and it was very annoying to deal with. Solar just had a bit of a harder time keeping up with that. Did lead into a stronger earlier game from ShoWTimE. We'll see if he can replicate that. Loved how scrappy that match was. Yeah, for sure, 100%. There's that first Oracle. Oracle's on the way. Depth is being thrown back. Solar just going hatch gas pool. Third base being thrown down as well. On time. Getting to link speed. Pulling out of gas. Nothing crazy, nothing wild. Really, what we're expecting out of Solar is a lair first. We're expecting a lair. We're expecting no Evo chambers. If that is the case, then Solar is going to be setting up for a 3-base all-in. So those are the big tells that we're looking for here: is lack of Evo chamber, lack of Roach Warren, lack of Baneling Nest, and lair first. Well, meanwhile, the wall is open. Lings, they do slip in. Not bad. Going for the probes. And he gets one. One probe goes down. Getting one so far. Meanwhile, Evo Chambers on the way. That was our first tech of choice here, which means this does not look like the initial, at least, lair-based all-in. It's doing Evo Chamber. This should be for +1 melee. So this should be Ling Hydra out of Solar. If we see +1 range on the way, that will take us down a different path. But this should be melee, and this should be the setup for at least a 3-base saturation. Oh. Oracle gets deflected. Yep, melee's on the way. Going into Ling Hydra. And now Solar has 2 options here. Either he saturates his third, gets a 4th, and also starts to take up, or he saturates his third, gets a 4th, and doesn't take up, and maxes out on Ling Hydra. Oh. So fast stasis goes off. Only getting 1 drone. We'll see where Solar takes us. Lair is on the way. Also, I'm assuming this is going to be Ling Hydra, but technically Solar can still go for a safety Roach Warren and go like something more old school like Ling Bane Roach Ravager, which we don't really expect on Frostline, but is also an option. True. Lings they poke in. Baneling Nest is going to be thrown down here for Solar. Baneling Nest at the third. With this, he will have what he needs to defend against a charge lot. Speaking of, it is going to be a charge base open out of ShoWTimE, not Blink. Interesting. Okay, ShoWTimE kind of showing his more aggressive side for the first time this series. A lot of our attention was on Solar, but no, ShoWTimE, he's not playing standard. With this, he's going to have a charge timing available. Now, this is going to be an interesting build choice from ShoWTimE, especially on Frostline, because it's just such a large map. Lings, they counterattack, they catch out 3 Adepts. Nice catch here from Solar, getting a Stalker as well. Very nice pickups. Meanwhile, across the map, 5 drones go down. ShoWTimE, he does get his tech before expanding, so he's going for earlier Storm before taking his 4th base. So ShoWTimE is not being too greedy. He's not being too greedy here. Prism is on the way for those charge lots. Here comes the initial move out, just waiting for the War Prism. Now with that gateway set up, ShoWTimE is getting up to 8 gates. He's getting up to 8 gateways. ShoWTimE, he does scouts, he does get eyes on the lair. We can see it is going to be Lingbane Hydra here out of Solar. Solar, he is going to be joining up his 4th base, so Solar, he's not going for the all-in. He is setting up for a longer game. Meanwhile, as Solar's getting ready for a longer game state, ShoWTimE, he throws down even more gateways. Oh my... okay. He throws down the gateways to wall off at least, but he's getting up to 12. Yeah, 12 gates. 12 gate setup. Will take a 4th. That is going to be a lot of gateways. Now moving in, he wants the queens. Queens, they pull away in time. ShoWTimE, he reveals the army. Solar, he responds. He rotates with everything. Massing up Ling Hydra. And Solar, he should have enough to defend here. Yeah, none of Zealots. None of Zealots. ShoWTimE, he backs off. He backs off. ShoWTimE does not have enough. ShoWTimE retreats, and Solar will gain map control. And now we enter that game state that we mentioned earlier, how difficult it can be for a Protoss player to defend their 3rd base and their 4th. Now this wall here, that's why we have a full wall, just because that will help here in the defense of the 3rd. But here come the Bailings, and here comes Solar. So he's just massing up here. He's maxing out on Lingbane Hydra, or at least attempting to. He is committed. Storm is ready. But there's not that much support for the army. Like, we're so heavily reliant on storms. So far, decent storms on the Bailings. At Templar, they pull away. Very nice storm on the Hydras. Yeah, storms are popping up. We still have 2 more storms left. Oh, Oracle goes down. There's a storm on the Hydras. And ShoWTimE holds. Whew, ShoWTimE, he holds on. I was concerned because he was so reliant on those storms. But hey, if they connect, then we're fine. It's like, I don't know, mate. It's ShoWTimE. He's got to connect with the storms if he wants to hold. I mean, he just connects. True. He connects, he pops off, he shuts down the army, and now Solar's in trouble. Solar, he's in a lot of trouble here. He's falling back. Bailings are on the way. There's still storms left over. Bailings, they morph in. Oh my god, storms, they shut down the Bailings. And GG gets called. ShoWTimE, he overwhelms, he pops off. And ShoWTimE will take the series at 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Solar, he was so committed to that attack at the 4th base, but the storms completely shut him down. It took the wind out of the sails, and specifically because there were storms left over. That's what's crazy. ShoWTimE, he had storms to spare, so he was able to counterattack. He was able to counterattack. He had like 2 or 3 storms in the chamber, and with that, Solar could not stop him. Lingbane Hydra melts to storms, could not hold a candle. GG. GG, well played. With that, ShoWTimE does advance on into the grand finals to face off against Hero in a PvP. Let's go. It's going to be a PvP finals here between Hero and ShoWTimE. Let us set up. But a shout out to Solar because again, I honestly wasn't expecting Solar to make it this far, to make it to the semifinals. So Solar, he played very well making it this far. So a very strong showing here by Solar to make it to those semis. Again, he had a very close series against Skillous, very close, very intense. Solar, he was barely able to bring Skillous down. Does meet his match here in the semis, but a good performance nonetheless. Good performance here by Solar. GG, well played. We do not often see Zerg players make it to the semifinals, so very well done. Very well done. Did it make it far, and now we're getting ready for the grand finals here.